In the spotlight tonight is Ed Harris from Wimbledon, a company director, and his specialist subject is the Hornblower novels of C.S. Forrester. Jamie Lee from Ripon, a student whose subject is English International Rugby Union. Joan Zunde from Sheffield, a retired architect. Her subject is Stanley Spencer. And Geoff from Somerset, a retired manager, and his subject, English silver from 1478 to 1837. I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Mastermind, the quizzing equivalent of climbing Everest. At the end of tonight's contest, one of our contenders will move a step closer to reaching our summit by taking a place in the next round, and who knows, may scale the dizzy heights to become the nation's mastermind. But before then, two minor peaks must be conquered. Our two rounds, one on specialist subjects and one on general knowledge. So now that I've run out of mountaineering metaphors, let me ask our first contender to join us, please. And your name is?
Ed Harris.
And your occupation?
Company director.
And your chosen subject?
The Hornblower novels of C.S. Forrester.
C.S. Forrester's Hornblower in 2 minutes, starting now. At which card game learnt before going to sea does Horatio Hornblower excel?
Whist.
Correct. In Mr. Midshipman Hornblower, with whom does he fight a duel in which neither party is injured because their pistols aren't loaded?
John Simpson.
Correct. What title does Alexander, Emperor of all the Russians, use when he visits Hornblower's flagship, the non-such Incognito?
The Comte du Nord.
Correct. What title does Hornblower take when he's made a peer?
Lord Hornblower of Smallbridge.
Correct. What type of vessels are Harvey and Moth, which Hornblower employs to good effect in the defence of Riga against the besieging French armies?
Bomb catches.
Correct. Who's captain of the Renown when Lieutenant Bush joins the ship in the Hamouse?
Captain Sawyer.
Yes, in Hornblower and the Crisis, of which vessel had James Percival Meadows and Hornblower both been captain when he gives evidence at Meadows' court-martial?
Hotspur.
Correct. In Hornblower and the West Indies, what newfangled instrument is played by the Marine bandsman who's charged with disobedience to orders but escapes with Lady Barbara's help?
Cornet.
Correct. In Flying Colours, which ship is Bush given command of when he's promoted from lieutenant to commander?
Pass.
In Hornblower and the Hotspur, what drink does Doughty serve with the dinner of lobster cutlets and new potatoes that he prepares for Hornblower?
Cider.
Yes, in Lord Hornblower, which 18-gun Royal Navy brig mutinies in the Bay of the Seine?
Flame.
Yes, what was the name of the first husband of Lady Barbara before she becomes Hornblower's second wife?
Sir Percy Leighton.
Yes, in Flying Colours, which aristocratic family helped Hornblower, Bush and Brown in their escape from France?
The de Gresses.
Yes, what reason does Hornblower repeatedly give for his dislike of music?
He's tone deaf.
He is. In The Happy Return, in which part of the ship is Lady Barbara kept for safety alongside the wounded men during the battle between the Lydia and the Natividad?
The Orlop.
Yes. In Mr. Midshipman Hornblower, which actress keeps dispatches safe from capture by the Spanish by stowing them in her petticoats?
Kitty Cobham.
Yes. In Lieutenant Hornblower, on which island do Bush and Hornblower capture a Spanish fort and use its heated shot against Spanish shipping?
Santo Domingo.
I'll accept that, Hispaniola. What dance do Hall, Benson, I've started so I shall finish, do Hall, Benskin and McAvoy perform while the Lydia is being towed into action against the Natividad?
The Hornpipe.
The Hornpipe it was. You passed on one question. It was the Witch of Endor, the ship Bush is given command of. One pass, Ed Harris, 17 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Jamie Lee.
Your occupation?
Student.
And your chosen subject?
English International Rugby Union since 1990.
English Rugby Union. 2 minutes, starting now. Which Bath player did Jack Rowell appoint as England captain in 1996 after Will Carling finally stood down to the captaincy?
Phil de Glanville.
Correct. The last of which fly half's 10 caps came against Ireland at the Five Nations Championship of 1993?
Stuart Barnes.
Yes. By what score did Australia inflict England's worst ever international defeat at Brisbane in 1998?
76-0.
Indeed. Who was the referee of the 2003 World Cup final?
Andre Watson.
Yes. Who was officially recognised as England's specialist kicking coach in 1997, though he'd been unofficially involved with the team for several years previously?
Dave Allred.
Yes. The last of which player's 64 caps came in the World Cup third-place playoff against France in 1995?
Pass.
Playing at fly-half, who scored all of England's points in Clive Woodward's first game as England manager against Australia in '97?
Paul Grayson.
Mike Catt. Who were England's opponents when Martin Johnson made the first of his 84 full international appearances in January '93?
Australia.
France. Who in '98 became the first England player to score a full house of a try, a drop goal, penalty and a conversion in the same Five Nations game?
Pass.
Who were England's opponents in November 2004 when Jason Robinson captained the team for the first time in the absence of Johnny Wilkinson?
Canada.
Correct. Which former Bath player, now with Wasps, won his first cap against the USA on England's tour of North America in 2001?
Tom Boyce.
Yes. At which club was Clive Woodward working as an assistant coach when he was appointed England manager in '97?
Bath.
Yes. Which forward scored a try in his 50th appearance for England in the last match of the '92 Five Nations Championship against Wales?
Pass.
Rory Underwood played on one wing throughout the '91 Grand Slam season. Who played on the other wing?
Simon Halliday.
Nigel Heslop. In 2002, which country conceded more than 50 points against England for the first time to suffer the heaviest defeat in their history?
Ireland.
South Africa. In '97, which player returned to rugby union and won his third England cap after an interval of more than 9 years and a career in rugby league?
Pass.
I can tell you it was John Bentley. The other passes, the forward who scored a try in his 50th appearance was Wade Dooley. The full house scorer was Paul Grayson. And the last of Brian Moore's 64 caps came in the World Cup third place playoff in '95. 4 passes. Jamie Lee, you have 8 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Joan Zunde.
And your occupation?
A retired architect.
And your chosen subject?
It's the life and work of Stanley Spencer.
Stanley Spencer. 2 minutes, starting now. At which gallery was Spencer's The Resurrection Cookham first exhibited in his one-man show of 1927?
Goupil's.
Correct. A copy of whose essay on Giotto and his works at Padua was given to Spencer by some of his friends in around 1911?
Roger Fry.
John Ruskin. What was the name of the Cookham boatyard owner who appears in the foreground of the unfinished Christ Preaching at Cookham Regatta?
Turk.
Yes. What was the name of the family maid for whom Spencer had intended to create a memorial chapel?
Elsie Murphy.
Elsie Munday. In 1932, which director of a family firm of art dealers became Spencer's sole agent?
Duncan Tooth.
Dudley Tooth. Spencer claimed he conceived the idea for which painting begun in 1915 and finished after demobilisation during a church service when he could hear people on the river?
Pass.
Who was the lesbian lover of Spencer's second wife, Patricia, who was with the newly married couple on their honeymoon in St Ives?
Dorothy Hepworth.
Correct. Which painting of 1958 was reputedly inspired by rubble from pipe laying in the Cookham High Street?
Pass.
Who commissioned Spencer to design and decorate the Sandon Memorial Chapel at Burghclere?
Louis and Mary Barron.
Yes. By what alternative title is Spencer's double nude portrait, the artist and his second wife, most commonly known?
The Leg of Mutton Nude.
Yes. What creature is the figure of Christ holding in his hand in the third painting of the Christ in the Wilderness series?
Fox.
Scorpion. Spencer resigned from the Royal Academy when it rejected the Dustman or the Lovers, and which of his other paintings?
St Francis and the Birds.
Correct. Which series of paintings begun in 1940 was commissioned by the War Artists Advisory Committee?
The shipbuilding on the Clyde.
Correct. In 1917, Spencer became an infantryman with which regiment serving in Macedonia?
The 7th Berkshire Rifles.
Correct. What is the title of Spencer's 1945 portrait of Charlotte Murray?
Pass.
What was the surname of Dorothy and Emily, the local butcher's daughters, who the young Spencer was very fond of?
Pass.
In which village near Southwold did Spencer marry Hilda Carline in 1925?
Wentworth.
Wangford. According to his biographer Keith Bell, what was the title of Spencer's first recorded painting, now missing?
Pass.
I can tell you that one. It was The Loaf of Bread. The other passes. The surname of Dorothy and Emily was Worcester. The title of that 45 portrait was The Psychiatrist.
Of course.
It was The Crucifixion, reputedly inspired by rubble. And the painting for which Spencer conceived the idea in 1915 was Swan Upping. 5 passes. Joan Zunde, you have 8 points.
Thank you.
And our last contender, please. And your name is?
Geoff Heel,
Your occupation?
retired manager.
And your chosen subject?
English silver 1478 to 1837.
English silver, 2 minutes, starting now. Which standard for silver that was purer than sterling silver was introduced by an Act of Parliament in 1697?
Britannia.
Correct. In the hallmark, what did the leopard's head wear from 1478 when the date letter was introduced?
A crown.
Yes. What popular name was given in the 18th century to a double decanter trolley used for passing 2 wine bottles at once round the table?
A jolly boat.
It was. Which conventional leaf pattern based on a prickly Mediterranean shrub was popular on English silver in the later 17th century?
Acanthus.
Yes. What form does the 4th mark added to the hallmark system in 1544 take?
A lion passant.
Yes. Which city's hallmark changed in 1701 from an X to the 3-towered castle?
Exeter.
Yes. For what was a Standish an early name?
An inkstand.
Yes. Which Regency silversmith, closely associated with Rundell Bridge and Rundell, produced a wine funnel that was 11 3/4 inches long?
Paul Store.
Correct. What featured on the duty mark struck on silver from 1784 to show that duty at 6p an ounce had been paid?
The monarch's head.
Yes. Which Cambridge college owns the Founders' Cup bequeathed by Lady Margaret Beaufort in 1509?
Christchurch.
Christ's College. Which assay office was established in 1773 along with that of Sheffield, largely due to the efforts of local manufacturer Matthew Bolton?
Birmingham.
Yes. Which duke who apparently disliked cold gravy gave his name to a kind of vessel for keeping gravy warm?
Biggin.
Argyll. On which saint's day was the annual date letter changed from its introduction in 1478 until the Restoration in 1660?
St Dunstan.
Correct. What term is used for tableware such as spoons and forks that do not have a cutting edge?
Flatware.
Correct. Which form of ornament, often done by chasing, produces a trellis or lattice type of design?
Bright cutting.
Darper. What name after the Lord Mayor of London, to whom they once belonged, is given to the set of 12 16th century spoons that feature historical figures such as Elizabeth I?
The Titchborne celebrities.
Yes. What name was originally given to a centrepiece consisting of a central bowl and several smaller ones used to contain sweetmeats?
An epergne.
Yes. Which start is all finished. Which silversmith took over the family business after her husband's death in 1760 and is particularly noted for her simple domestic silverware?
Hester Bateman.
Hester Bateman it was. You had no passes, Geoff Hill. You've scored 15 points. So that's the end of the first round. Let's have a look at the scores. In joint third place with 8 points are Jamie Lee and Joan Zunde. In second place with 15 points, Geoff Hill. In first place with 17 points, Ed Harris. So, round 2 now, general knowledge. If there's a tie at the end of the round, then the number of passes will be taken into account, and the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. Let's get on with the general knowledge round and ask Jamie Lee to join us again, please. And I think we can agree, can't we, as a Welshman in my case, probably an Englishman in your case, that England winning the World Cup, Rugby World Cup, was a bit of a fluke? Sort of.
And the Welsh winning the Grand Slam in 2005
Was
Six
entirely
Nations
deserved,
was also a
yes,
fluke,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, I'm glad we've got that out of the way. Right. It is odd, though, isn't it? How do you explain this as a student of these things, that a team can win the World Cup 1 minute and then win nothing for game after game after game? What happens, dude?
Well, I think the World Cup plan started in 1997 when Clive Woodward took over, and he revolutionised the RFU and made it far more businesslike, and they geared up to the 2003 World Cup.
Yeah, but that doesn't make individual players play better, does it?
You need to have a more holistic view. I think generally the media are very keen to celebrate success, which is great, but they're also very keen to do people down. The World Cup was the achievement, and that was what it was geared to. But as soon as the World Cup happened, Clive Woodward said, right, we've got to start again, and banished talk of the World Cup. But it was going to be a real rebuilding process from that very stage onwards.
Right, well, you've scored 8 points with your knowledge of English rugby. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes on that, starting now. What was the name of the sheep cloned by the Rosslyn Institute in Edinburgh in 1996?
Dolly.
Yes. Which poet laureate wrote The Iron Man, which was adapted into the 1999 animated film The Iron Giant?
Betjeman.
Ted Hughes. Under what name was the Indian board game called Pachisi, played by 2 sets of partners who moved pieces around a cross-shaped course patented in Victorian Britain in a modified form?
Pass.
In the music industry, what do the letters A and R stand for?
Audio and recording.
Artists and repertoire. Derived from the Latin for in open court, what term denotes the application of scientific methods and techniques to the investigation of crime?
Forensics.
Yes. Which French dramatist is best known for his popular play Cyrano de Bergerac?
Pass.
In 2001, which internet company did Time Warner join up with in one of the world's biggest ever corporate mergers?
AOL.
Yes. Which blind singer who died in June 2004, aged 73, dropped his original surname Robinson in deference to the boxer Sugar Ray Robinson?
Ray Charles.
Yes. What is the fourth traditional province of Ireland, along with Leinster, Ulster and Munster?
Connaught.
Yes. In classical mythology, Arachne, who challenged Athene to a weaving contest and won, was turned into what creature?
Spider.
Yes. Who in 1994 became the first woman to win gold medals in Olympic, World, Commonwealth and European Championships?
Sonia O'Sullivan.
Sally Gunnell. The title of which book by the American writer Dave Eggers is sometimes abbreviated to AHWOSG?
Pass.
In 1702, which military leader was created the first Duke of Marlborough by Queen Anne?
Pass.
Which self-governing British colony lies in the North Atlantic, 570 miles east of North Carolina?
Bermuda.
Yes, in 2002, the term of office of a French president was shortened from 7 to how many years?
5.
Yes. Whose painting, Woman with Her Arms Crossed, fetched a record sum for a 20th century artwork of $55 million in November 2000?
Picasso.
Yes. Which former Tory Treasury minister's memoirs are called Pride and Perjury?
Jonathan Aitken.
Yes. Which American president was born in a backwoods cabin near Hodgenville, Kentucky in 1809?
Lincoln.
Yes, Lincoln it was. You had 4 passes. John Churchill was the military leader, created first Duke of Marlborough. AHWOSG stands for a heartbreaking work of staggering genius. The French dramatist known for Cyrano de Bergerac, Edmond Rostand, and Parcheesi was patented in Britain as Ludo. 4 passes. Jamie Lee, you have 19 points. And now Joan Zunde. If she would join us, please. Now then, you rather approve of Stanley Spencer, I assume?
I do, yes.
Because?
I like the way that he brings earth and heaven together. Dirt and angels, he said. And I very much like the way his biblical stories, in particular, are set in a recognisable local frame.
And in spite of his biblical paintings, it's not clear whether he actually believed in God, is it?
He certainly believed that in transcendence, and he had been brought up in a very religious household, learned a great deal about religion, and his religion, in fact, turned out to be about his genius. And he spent a great deal of time glorifying that, it has to be said. He wrote a great deal about his pictures too, and talked incessantly, I understand.
8 points so far,
Thank you.
and you have to beat 19 points, so let's see how
Long
you
way
do.
to go.
2 minutes. General knowledge starting now. What courtesy title is given to composers and conductors?
Maestro.
Yes. What name is given to the loose, wide-sleeved Japanese robe which is fastened round the waist with a broad sash?
Kimono.
Correct. Which American writer's first successful novel was Tortilla Flat, published in 1935?
Hemingway.
Steinbeck. To which town did the former Wimbledon Football Club move their home ground in 2003?
Pass.
Which strait between Sumatra and Malaysia joins the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean?
Pass.
Whose 1918 book Eminent Victorians profiled Cardinal Manning and Florence Nightingale, among others?
Lytton Strachey.
Yes. Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and which other grape variety are the only 3 used to make champagne?
Pass.
According to some interpretations of Jewish folklore, Lilith was the first wife of which biblical character?
Adam.
Yes. In a monastery or convent, what is the dining hall usually called?
The refectory.
Yes. What was the title of Robert Flaherty's pioneering documentary of 1922 depicting an Eskimo's daily life?
Pass.
Which branch of medicine is concerned with the nervous system and treatment of its disorders?
Neurology.
Yes. What was the nationality of Anders Celsius, after whom the temperature scale is named?
Danish.
Swedish. The 4th movement of which work by Berlioz is called The March to the Scaffold?
Pass.
Prince Henry Benedict, who styled himself Henry IX after his brother's death, was the younger brother of which pretender to the British throne?
Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Yes, of which country was Joseph Jenkins Roberts elected the first president when it was recognised as an independent state in 1847?
Pass.
What do we call the dessert known to the Germans as Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte?
Black Forest Gatto.
Yes, which city commissioned Britain's first post-Roman ship canal in 1563 so boats could avoid the River Wear that had been built by the Countess of Devon in 1290?
Bristol.
Exeter. Which pro-gun organisation in the United States is abbreviated to NRA?
The National Rifle Association.
Yes, that is correct. You had 6 passes altogether. Liberia was the country of which Joseph Jenkins Roberts was first president. Symphonie Fantastique was that Berlioz's work. Nanook of the North was Robert Fletcher. Chardonnay was the third grape that makes champagne. The Strait of Malacca is between Sumatra and Malaysia, and Wimbledon moved to Milton Keynes. 6 passes. Joan Zunde, you have 17 points. And now Geoff Hill, please. If you join us again. And I'm intrigued as to why you chose those particular years, 1478 to 1837, English silver. Why that period?
Well, 1478 was when they introduced what we consider now to be the hallmarking system.
What did they have before that, then?
There was a hallmark before then, or a single mark, but it wasn't a good enough guarantee to make sure that silver was of a sufficient standard.
And what was wrong with it, then? Why was it?
The actual people testing the silver were visiting the individual goldsmiths in their shops, and that was open to fraud. Obviously, they could be bribed or whatever. So we decided to bring all that in-house into the Goldsmiths' Hall.
Which exists to this day.
Today in Foster Lane in London.
Yeah.
And that's how the term hallmarking comes about, because it was then brought in, every item had to be sent to Goldsmiths' Hall and hallmarked with the official stamps.
Well, you obviously know a lot about it, and you've scored 15 points. 19 so far is the score to beat. So, you have 2 minutes on general knowledge starting now. Which communist anthem was written in the late 19th century by Eugène Potier and set to music by Pierre de Gaité?
The red flag?
The Internationale. Which variety of long-leaved lettuce is named after a Greek island in the Aegean?
Cos.
Yes. Which French painter who posed for Renoir was encouraged to draw and paint by Degas and was the mother of the artist Maurice Utrillo?
Cézanne.
Suzanne Valadon. Which national newspaper was first published in 1785 as the Daily Universal Register?
The Times.
Yes. The first regular passenger service using which means of transport was inaugurated in 1962 by British United Airways across the Dee estuary?
Hovercraft.
Yes. To which monarch did Mendelssohn dedicate his Scottish Symphony?
George IV.
Queen Victoria. Which breed of dog, in spite of its name, was actually bred in Germany to hunt boar and is also known as the German Mastiff?
Deerhound.
Great Dane. In the United States, what name referring specifically to a migrant worker who likes to travel is also used for a tramp?
Hobo.
Yes. William Woodruff's Road to Nab End is about his upbringing in great poverty in which Lancashire town?
Oldham.
Blackburn. Which is the most abundant of the inert gases in the Earth's atmosphere?
Neon.
Argon. Which Scottish football club is so named because it was founded by the rector and pupils of the local grammar school?
Stanley.
Hamilton Academical. Who was the father of King James VI of Scotland, later James I of England?
James V.
Lord Darnley, Henry Stuart. Which god of crop fertility associated in the Bible with the Philistines was, according to some texts, the father of Baal?
Pass.
Which dramatist does Johnny Depp portray in the film Finding Neverland?
Lewis Carroll.
J.M. Barrie. The second of which wars between China and Britain ended in 1860, 2 years after the Treaty of Tientsin had failed to put an end to hostilities?
The Opium Wars.
Yes. Which major Australian city, I'll finish the question, stands partly on the Parramatta River?
Sydney.
Yes, it is. You had 1 pass. The god of crop fertility is Dagon. 1 pass. Geoff Hill, you have 21 points. And finally, Ed Harris, please. Now, what is the great appeal of the Hornblower novels? What makes them great? Many people think they are.
Well, to me, the most important element is the descriptions of the character and the thought and the strategic thought of the man.
Ah, so it's not action and adventure.
There is
that.
action, but it's much more than that. It's much more than a swashbuckle. If you read the books, his thought patterns, his planning, his strategy is set out minutely. And to me, that's the unique and interesting part of them.
But you read the books all the time?
I've read them many times. I started when I was a small boy, and I come back to them time and time again.
Well, they did you proud tonight because you scored 17 points. Let's see if you can beat the present winning score of 21. 2 minutes, starting now. In English folklore, what was the name of the jolly cleric who joined Robin Hood's band of men?
Friar Tuck.
Yes. Which of the United States has the abbreviation MO?
Missouri.
Yes. What name is given to the horizontal underground stem of plants such as the iris, which enable it to survive from one growing season to the next?
Taproot.
The rhizome. Who won his first Embassy World Professional Snooker Championship in 1981 when he beat Doug Mountjoy 18-12 in the final?
Dennis Taylor.
Steve Davis. Which former Soviet republic replaced Hungary as Europe's largest landlocked country in 1991?
Ukraine.
Belarus. Who was the resident agony aunt at the Daily Mirror from 1971 until her death in November 96?
Marge Proops.
Yes. Which great work of literature resulted from the Hampton Court Conference of 1604?
King James Bible.
Yes. On which Hebridean island is Fingal's Cave?
Barra.
Staffer. Spiny and hairy or gymnure are the two kinds of which small mammal?
Anteater.
Hedgehog. Which Latin American percussion instruments are normally made from a pair of dried Cuban gourds with beans or beads inside?
Maracas.
Yes. Which composer was played by Dirk Bogarde in the 1960 film Song Without End?
Mahler.
No. Liszt. Who at his death in 1519 bequeathed his entire output of notes containing drawings of many inventions to his pupil Francesco Melzi?
Leonardo.
Yes. Which American writer's third full-length work of fiction, published in November 2004, is called I Am Charlotte Simmons?
Pass.
Apart from that of hydrogen, an atomic nucleus consists of protons and which other particles?
Neutrons.
Correct. What name is given to Henry VIII's victory over the French in 1513, achieved while he was besieging Terouanne?
Pass.
Whose 21st birthday did the poet laureate Andrew Motion celebrate with a poem called On the Record?
Prince William.
Yes. What is the Spanish for tomorrow, sometimes used to mean a vague date in the future?
Mañana.
Mañana it is. 2 passes you had there. It was the Battle of the Spurs, Henry VIII's victory, that I was looking for. And Tom Wolfe wrote I Am Charlotte Simmons. 2 passes, but you scored, Ed Harris, 26 points. So that's it. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 17 points, Joan Zunde. 3rd place with 19 points, Jamie Lee. 2nd place, 21 points, Geoff Heel. 1st place with 26 points, Ed Harris. Which means, of course, that Ed Harris goes through to the next round. Congratulations to him. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Meeting the specialist team in Manchester who deal with the country's biggest killer on a daily basis, heart disease. We're keeping Britain alive at 9 tonight. Next on BBC 2, tackling the tricky art of tarts with the Great British Bake Off.